Hey, what's going on? I thought I'd make a quick video response to Kevin's video. In the video, you asked a question. You said, is a hoe a girl who just knows what she wants, or is she something else? And you were responding to a question that I had asked you via email, and you said I sounded bitter. I mean, not so much bitter as in disillusioned almost, because I've seen a lot of the games out there. I've been in the game a long time. I know how people, how women think, how guys think. But anyway, I made this video to answer that question. You said, um, is a girl who's considered a hoe really just a girl who knows what she wants, or should she be held to that standard? Should she be called a hoe or whatever? I am not a judgmental person, but I'm very realistic, and I've studied psychology, so I understand human behavior. I will tell you this. If a girl is single and she decides that she wants to put out easy because she wants to have sex and enjoy it with as many guys as possible, if she wants to, no one can judge her, that's her choice. Now, you said that, we shouldn't judge her or throw cat, throw stones if we live in a glass house. But I feel that you're shooting yourself in the foot because I'm pretty sure that you yourself would not marry a girl if you knew for a fact that she had slept with half the football team in your college. Even if she tells you that she's good, you wouldn't have that confidence. You wouldn't sleep with a girl that all your boys have been in. I mean, not sleep, but I mean, go out with or marry, would you? No. Yet you say women shouldn't be judged because they're just people who know what they want. The thing that I think you need to understand is that what you do ultimately affects your character. And this actually brings to mind something that my friend told me once. He said, you know, things start out as thoughts. You have thoughts in your mind, desires and fantasies. They become words. Those words become actions. Those actions become habits. Those habits become your destiny. And that's where that applies to this discussion. A girl may be single and sleep with all the guys out there, whatever. Fine, no one can hold her accountable, no one can judge her. All right. But do you think that after sleeping with however many guys or getting used to sleeping with whoever she likes, she's just gonna turn around and become easily monogamous? No, because it becomes psychological. It becomes a habit. Also, you have to look at the underlying reasons why people sleep around. It's not always the same. People don't just always do it for pleasure. As a matter of fact, most of the time it's not just for pleasure, especially for women. And I'm talking from a strictly scientific perspective here. Many times, girls put out because they want to use it um, as a way to maybe feel good about themselves, to feel wanted. As I mentioned in another video, they use sex as a way to compensate for some other emotional needs. And psychologically, it's not a good behavior, but that's what they do. And there are some girls who will fit your description, saying they use sex because they know what they want. They want sex. Okay. A psychologist would ask, why is it that that's what you want? What benefits do you get out of it besides the physical pleasure? That's what you have to ask yourself. And I'm sorry for the fire alarm. My neighbor is having an issue. But anyways, yeah, that's the reality. And look, most hoes would not admit to being hoes. I knew porn stars. I met two porn stars. And they looked me straight in the eye and said, I'm not a hoe. I may be a slut, but not a hoe. I knew a girl who was saying once, I feel like I'm a skank, but I'm not a hoe. They use every word in the book except hoe because hoe is extremely negative. And no, I'm not throwing stones from a glass house. I will admit I wasn't exactly perfect either, but I turned around and faced it and I studied it and I decided to look at the reasons why people behave the way they do because it doesn't just stop. You don't sleep around and then turn a new leaf all of a sudden. It doesn't work like that. Your actions become your habits. If you use sex all the time, whether it's for plain physical pleasure or whatever, it becomes a habit. You can't do something all the time repeatedly and let it not affect you. And when it becomes a habit, it affects your character. So yes, they're all the same. They're all the same. They're all connected. So no, I don't think a hoe is a woman who necessarily knows what she wants, because many a times they get messed up because of it. You know. Now I'm not gonna preach and tell people don't have sex. If you wanna do it, do it. It's your life. But I'll be realistic. From what I've seen, when you do it all the time, it becomes a habit. Now some girls may do it and get into a relationship and not cheat, but other things arise. Not cheating is not the only bad thing that can happen. A lot of girls get into relationships and they're good for a year, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then they want to go out there and sleep around again, but rather than cheat, they just break up and it becomes a pattern. Now, that behavior starts affecting other areas of your life that it shouldn't be affecting. Sex at the end of the day is a physical act. It's pleasurable, but it's just a physical act. It will not compensate for emotional needs. And it will not compensate for other things. If anything, if you make a habit of always using it wrongly, it ends up affecting other areas of your life that shouldn't be affected by it. So no, I wouldn't consider it hypocritical to point that out. Because any girl will tell you, girls know. And I hold girls to a different standard because girls are not exactly like guys in the sense that they have to go out of their way to get laid. It's the other way around. A guy, like I said in my other videos, would have to go out of his way to get pussy. Girls don't have to do that. Girls don't look at like, they're not gonna be like, oh my God, he has a dick. I have to do something about it to get him. No. I mean, there are girls that do that, which are the desperate ones, but for the most part, all a girl has to do is look good and just wait, and the guy will come along. The quality of the guy is what girls are judged by. They judge girls by the quality of the men they get, not the quantity. Us, guys look at quantity. I mean, we look at quality also when we want to settle down, but when we're young, we're held by the quantity because it's a rat race out there. So you have to understand that it's not a question of whether she gets what she knows what she wants. Because if that's the case, you could say, well, Ted Bundy knew what he wanted. He killed girls and raped them and beat them. He committed a crime, but that's what he wanted. And he was very unapologetic about it. What are you going to say? Is he any less of a serial killer because of that? No. And like I said, you could say whatever you want in your video, but if I bring to you a dime piece that has slept with like 50 guys in the last month and tell you you can wife her up, you would say no. And that puts you in the same category as everybody else. So that's what I feel. I already explained what I believe a hoe is in my other 2 videos, and this applies to both guys and girls. But you can't just say, oh, she knows what she wants. That's a cop-out. Because all those habits end up affecting the character, and many a times it reflects into their relationships. And then other people get hurt. That's why many girls get hurt by guys, because guys are the same way. And it takes maturity to understand that. So I just thought I'd clear that out and make a video to answer your question. Later.